Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mataji. Shall I continue?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Please
Pranam.
accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to glorify Srila Prabhupada from this amazing book called Prabhupada Lilamritha, written by His Holiness Sri Das Goswami Maharaj. So we shall continue from where we left off. Please excuse me for this delay in starting the program. Just allow me to start the screen sharing. So we are now at a very exciting part of this journey, that three major projects are coming up in India, and especially there are problems, unique problems in Mayapur as well as Vrindavan, but especially so, very serious problems are there in Juhu, Bombay, because of not having a leader there who could handle issues. Very serious problems are coming with the landlord, and Srila Prabhupada is quite concerned that he is not able to find a suitable person to handle those issues. And everyone he appoints, they all leave, and nobody is very positive about this project. They are thinking, what a place our Guru Maharaj has chosen. It is a desolate, a place which is frequented by only antisocials, and there is absolutely nothing. It is way outside the city, and very difficult for devotees to live. And in that place, he has also installed the deities, and we have to worship the deities in a proper way, 6 times a day. And then we are finding it difficult to maintain ourselves. And there are so many antisocial people, they are creating problems. And so Prabhupada is not able to find a person. So in the last moment, he picks up Giriraj Maharaj, not Maharaj Brahmachari at the time. And he tells him, now this is your project. And Giriraj Maharaj, he has no experience at all. He has come from America, and he basically has been a very successful fundraiser. Most important quality he had was, anyone recollects? What is the most important quality displayed by Giriraj Maharaj?
Hare
Giriraj.
Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat
Yes.
Pranams,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Simplicity, you mentioned, Prabhuji, is very straightforward. He was.
Yes. Yes, that was an important quality. Plus,
And he was submissive to Guru's instruction, Prabhuji.
he was completely surrendered. He had complete faith that if I surrender to my Guru Maharaj's instructions, then my spiritual advancement is guaranteed. The success of my spiritual life is guaranteed if I can please my Guru Maharaj. If my Guru Maharaj is pleased, Krishna will be pleased. And that is the final success of my life. And how to please my Guru Maharaj? I should accept every order in good faith and try to execute to the best of my ability. I should believe in the instructions of my Guru Maharaj and do my best to execute that. So he was eager to take instructions from Srila Prabhupada. And whatever Prabhupada would say, yes, Srila Prabhupada. And he sincerely meant it. Not that say yes, 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 and then finally not do it. He was completely committed. And then Prabhupada gave the responsibility of Juhu in his hands. And Prabhupada did not even guide him what to do. If you remember, can anyone recollect what was Prabhupada's instructions about good management? You recollect? What Prabhupada told Giriraj Maharaj. What is good management? Prabhupada said, good management means whatever needs to be done must be done. Very point blank. And you must do it. That's all. Either you get it done by others or you do it yourself. But whatever needs to be done must be done. If you see Srila Prabhupada's life, it was exactly that. Prabhupada did not say, no, no, this I am giving it to you, that I am giving it to you. I am not going to involve in that. Never. Prabhupada would give responsibilities, but the end mile responsibility Prabhupada was keeping for so many things. He was hardly sleeping and he was doing so many things at the same time. So this is what he taught our Giriraj Brahmachari, that whatever needs to be done must be done. That is good management. So having said that, Srila Prabhupada left on a world tour and he said, I will come back after 6 months. And before I come, you should have settled the money, got the sale deed, and um, collected funds, 64 lakhs, and temple project should start. Prabhupada left. And of course, when Prabhupada was out, he was constantly remembering about what is going on here in Juhu, because it was a project so dear to the heart of Srila Prabhupada. He was thinking, India is, within India, Bombay is the real capital, according to Prabhupada, not even Delhi. Delhi is number 2, Calcutta is number 3, Chennai is not in the picture. At that time, Madras. So Prabhupada's focus was on Bombay, because that is where everybody enters in India. People coming for trade, commerce, business, capital, for everything they come to Bombay only. Even the film capital, film city, that is also Bombay at that time. Right? So Prabhupada knew, if I can touch Bombay, then I can influence the whole of India. So Srila Prabhupada wanted Bombay to be his business capital. Worship capital is Mayapur, but business capital would be Bombay. So his place of business is Bombay. So in that sense, Prabhupada is constantly worried about what's going on here. So on the one side, Prabhupada is on a world tour. He's visiting one temple after the other, one temple after the other, maybe installing deities in some temples and giving diksha to so many new devotees, and to existing devotees giving guidance, and at the same time managing the whole world by writing letters. All the time Prabhupada was writing letters. Prabhupada has written letters in the thousands, 5,000 or 6,000 letters of Srila Prabhupada are available. Every management by letter, not email, no email in those days, everything physically, handwritten or typed, and it would go. And through letters, Prabhupada managed the whole organization. Letters giving instructions to particular temple presidents, or not only president, any devotee can write to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada would reply. There was a time when Prabhupada came to know, because one devotee visited Srila Prabhupada in, I think, Boston or LA. And this devotee said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I wrote you a letter, but you never replied. Prabhupada said, no, I have replied to every letter. Then Prabhupada started investigating furiously. And Prabhupada came to know some of his secretary has been screening the letters and taking a call whether it should actually be given to Srila Prabhupada, or either Prabhupada need not see it, or we can reply from our end, whatever it is. But those letters never came to Prabhupada. They did not even inform Prabhupada that we have some kind of a screening policy, that you don't have to see all the letters. When Prabhupada came to know, he was furious. So you can understand. Any ordinary disciple writing to Srila Prabhupada, he wanted to see those letters. Imagine a person at the age of 70 managing all these things. So many responsibilities. On top of that, personal attention to every single devotee, to every single letter that he writes. So through letters, Prabhupada actually now so many studies are being undertaken on the style of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada always says purity is the force. Correct, that we all know. If we are pure, our spiritual advancement will be beautiful and our preaching will be very effective. We know. But then people are people. They want to study the management style of Srila Prabhupada. And then they are finding this one aspect, that through letters, Prabhupada managed so many things. Prabhupada always said, you all attend the morning program. Correct? We have been seeing. If you all attend the morning program, that will be perfect. You will all be able to, your management and all secondary, Prabhupada would say. Ensure morning program everybody attends and everybody follows 16 rounds attentive chanting and 4 regulative principles. Our management will be pakka. But they are studying how Prabhupada managed a worldwide movement and such a old man. So they found his letters are so effective. One letter goes to one temple, addressed to one person, but it will not be read by that one person. It will be read out loudly to all the people in the temple to hear. And immediately the message will travel to all the temples through channels, either through phones or further letters, etc. Everybody wanted to hear and read every word of Srila Prabhupada. So that way, an effective management evolved around this spoken word of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada's morning walks, they were all recorded and they were all shared. And then, of course, Prabhupada was always profusely writing books. These books were also accessible to people. So that way, Prabhupada did amazing management of this movement, of course, by shedding every drop of his blood for the movement. So now here is Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles. And while his mind is so much occupied by Bombay, what is happening, but he did not compromise his attention that he gave to his various activities wherever he was. Wherever he was, he gave himself 100%. Any personal problem that a devotee is facing, a problem that a temple management is facing, whether it is financial or it is a social problem or it is a legal problem, Prabhupada gave his full attention. And when Srila Prabhupada gave a Bhagavatam class, his entire focus on giving a very, very effective class. And then somebody comes to Srila Prabhupada's room for some philosophic discussions. Prabhupada gave himself fully, willingly, not saying, sorry, I am busy. Never Prabhupada would say, I am busy. I am preoccupied. So this is amazing, transcendental accomplishment, we can say. Ordinary human beings cannot do that. So Giriraj Maharaj wrote to Srila Prabhupada, this we saw in last week, that suddenly Mr. Yen started saying, government has imposed a new tax called capital gains tax. So this property, what I am selling to you, I must pay 5 lakh capital gains tax. So out of the blue, suddenly ISKCON has to shell out 5 lakhs. And he says, I want to pay the tax immediately, but I don't have money. So you give me the money so that I can pay the tax. And where the devotees will go for money? So when Prabhupada came to know, Prabhupada said, don't worry, go take a loan from a bank. Had Prabhupada been there, he would have done that. He would have come. But the disciples, they went to banks and banks refused. We cannot give you loans. You are a trust. We don't know what your deeds are. We don't know who are the competent person to sign documents. We don't know what kind of securities you can give. You know what banks are like. Banks are not seeing whether it is an amazing spiritual movement which is transforming the whole world and the lives of people. They only saw, I am giving a loan means I should be able to collect interest and principal on time. My loan should be safe. I should have security. So Giriraj Maharaj said, sorry, Prabhupada, I am not getting bank loan. In the meantime, he also came to know, Giriraj, that this Mr. N is not a man of integrity. He is full of false wheelings and dealings. He has cheated many people. He has also cheated one corporate house. And he's now, his dealings are always very shady. He's having connections with all kinds of people, politicians, influencers, all kinds of things. So Giriraj Maharaj started developing a doubt whether I can even deal with him. Maybe it will not work. So, but Prabhupada replied to him, don't worry, our position is very safe and strong. Why? We already have a sale agreement. Whatever terms were given to us, we have fulfilled that. And we are in occupation of the land. And our deities are also occupying. It has now become a temple. And there is regular worship going on. No way Mr. N can evict us out of that place. And we have done nothing foul of the agreement. So don't worry. But none of the disciples are having that confidence what Srila Prabhupada is exuding all the time. So Prabhupada said, okay, now you approach Sumati Morarji. She is in Bombay only. She is in the same Juhu area only. You go to Sumati Morarji, who sent me to America in her Jaladuta ship. You go to her and ask her for help. And also all the other life members and patrons of ISKCON, you approach them for help. Like that he told. In the meantime, Prabhupada's tour continued. I am just briefly telling some of these details because Prabhupada is visiting so many temples all the time, just giving some of these. So Prabhupada went to Portland, Oregon in USA, and then he visited New York, and then he went to London. So these things we'll briefly see. And Prabhupada wrote to the disciples in Juhu one very important letter. So I want to share that with you. Because these are things, when we see Srila Prabhupada Lilamritha, his dealings with his disciples, his advices given to disciples and all, they are all applicable to us. So that way, wherever there is something like that, we should focus on that. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada wrote to the disciples, there must be always goodwill and cooperation among yourselves for this huge task ahead. Srila Prabhupada is writing about the Juhu project. It's a really huge mammoth project. But then these instructions are always applicable to ISKCON followers. Why? We always have a huge task ahead. Our task is to make the whole world Krishna conscious. Prithvite achiyadi nagaradi gram sarvatra prachara hoibe morana. Every town and village, the name of Mahaprabhu should be sung everywhere. This is what Mahaprabhu wanted. So that has to happen. So only the seed has been sown and the plant is just growing, but the work is unlimited. So one thing we all know, Krishna conscious means services only, right? Krishna consciousness means service, and service is unlimited variety of services and unlimited quantity of services. That is what makes Krishna very special. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead because he has created unlimited jivas, and all these unlimited jivas are his eternal servants. So he has to give them service because every soul is Atmarama. Anyone can explain what is Atmarama? Devotees?
Self-satisfied, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Can you explain that a little more? What is this self-satisfaction? Anyone?
Hare Krishna.
Anyone can attempt it. Yeah. What is this Atmaram?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
May I?
Yeah.
As a soul, we are always happy. Only when we try to make the body happy, we are at loss because we are not the body. So as a soul, we are always part of Krishna. And if we try to see that way, we are all Atmaramas, but in a lesser comparison to Krishna.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Other devotees would like to add to this? Rohini Mataji? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, knowing that only Krishna is the enjoyer, we serve. Then
Mataji, your voice is not clear. I think there is some signal problem. Can you say that again?
okay.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better there, but there is still something about the signal, I think. Yeah, go on, Mataji.
Okay, accepting that Krishna is the enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer, and our position is to serve it. And with that, we are happy in doing spiritual activities for Krishna. Then we are happy. The soul is happy.
To Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam, basically that's what you are saying, no? 5th chapter.
Yes, Prabhu.
Jnatva Shanti Mrichati.
The peace formula.
Yeah, peace formula. Yes, very right, Mataji. Thank you. So Atmarama principle is that Krishna is always satisfied within himself. Immediately the question arises, if Krishna was always satisfied, why did he create all these unlimited universes? He was satisfied man. He should have remained like that. Why did he create all these unlimited universes? Why did he expand himself into so many Vishnu Tattvas? Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, then so many incarnations, Leela Avatar, Manmantra Avatar, Guna Avatar, and Shakti Avesh Avatar, and then so many unlimited souls, and we are having so many issues that is in the material world, then there is spiritual. Why did he have to expand? So can you explain that? In the background of Atmaram principle, can you explain why Krishna did all this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. For the sake of rasas, creating more and more rasas and enjoying in a more nice manner.
Very good. That's very nice. Yeah, exactly. Please understand, by creating all these universes and expansions and so many activities, it doesn't diminish Krishna's quality as Atmarama. Krishna is Atmarama forever. He's completely satisfied. He needs nothing in this material world. Even though Krishna is full of activities here, but he has no need here. Even though when we see Krishna's life, he follows Varnashrama strictly. He wakes up very early in the morning. Srimad Bhagavatam nicely explains that in Dwarka, Krishna is sleeping with his beautiful 16,108 wives in different palaces. But morning, 3 o'clock or 2:30, the wives of Krishna are worried, the queens are worried. Oh, now our Krishna will get up and he will leave us. We will miss his association. Morning means like a clockwork. He would be no attachment at all. He would go and perform strictly according to Varnashrama activities from morning to night. Narada Muni himself personally went and checked up what Krishna is doing in all these palaces. So he's Atmaram. At the same time, in this material world, he has nothing to accomplish, but still he acts perfectly. He's neither interested in the success of an activity or failure of an activity. He's completely neutral, but he's always busily working. But that should not lead us to a wrong conclusion. No, Krishna also has got some attachments. He has also got some needs. No. So Krishna in the supreme world, in the spiritual world, Krishna expands his own internal energy. So internal energy means everything within the internal energy is Krishna only. So all the expansions of Sandhini, Sambit, Ladini Shaktis, which is happening within the spiritual world, it is all Krishna. When we say Krishna, it includes Krishna, the Supreme Lord, Srimati Radharani, his counterpart, then all the souls which are there, both Nitya Siddha souls and Sadhana Siddha souls, and all the places and mountains, rivers, oceans, everything put together is Krishna only. So whatever happens there, when Krishna is hankering for the association of Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani sometimes, refuses his advances, and Krishna seems to be hankering very much eagerly for her association and all that. These are all pastimes. Pastimes in the sense, it is all Krishna only. So Krishna, as very correctly Meenakshi Mataji said, it is rasas. Krishna is constantly expanding rasas. Akhila Rasa Amrita Murti. And he's expanding these rasas for all the souls to participate and enjoy. Like it is a huge ocean of ecstasy, Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. But within that Sindhu, he creates waves. Krishna creates waves of ecstasy within that. So you can go high in the wave, And when it falls down, it is still in ecstasy only. It's all ocean of ecstasy, bottomless, limitless ocean of ecstasy. So everyone who is participating within the internal energy of Krishna, they are all experiencing wonderful joy. But then it is not static. It is dynamic. It is ever expanding. People are engaging with Krishna in the 5 primary rasas and in the 7 secondary rasas. You would all have read it in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then there is also 33 or 34 Vyavachari Bhavas. That means these primary, secondary rasas are creating these huge waves, and then there are opposing waves. They rise temporarily, they clash against these waves, and in the process, the wave goes even higher. All the waves are ecstatic joy only, and the ocean is also ecstatic joy. This is called Vyabhichari Bhava. They come and go, temporary emotions. So like this, Krishna has this amazing spiritual world where he wants all the souls to enter, and he has unlimited seva for all of us. These sevas are only meant for increasing ecstasy. Correct? Within a family, in this material world also, father, mother, children, brothers, sisters, what is happening? Interactions are happening. Everybody is not simply sitting quietly and happily. They want to serve each other. The husband and wife wants to serve each other. Father and child wants to serve each other because that is how love manifests. Love is not static. Love is dynamic. You want to see the object of your love becoming more and more and more happy. And the more you love the other person, the less you want anything for yourself. So in that condition, you can understand what is Atmarama, even in this material context. When someone is in complete love with another person, all that they want is to see the other person happy. They stop thinking about themselves. So this is the essence of love, and that is the entire spiritual world. Individually, the souls are all part and parcel of Krishna. They are like him in quality. That means Krishna is Atmarama, and all the souls are also Atmarama. So in that way, what Prabhupada is suggesting here, you all have your services in Juhu and execute them in a spirit of goodwill. That means it's a reflection of the spiritual world. Just like in spiritual world, everyone cooperates with each other and with goodwill, right? That is what Srila Prabhupada is like. I want the world to watch you and emulate you, follow you, as the perfect example of Krishna conscious community, like the Srila Prabhupada wrote. Okay, then Prabhupada visited so many temples. Even though he could not visit all the temples, you can imagine in the United States of America, Prabhupada could not visit all the temples because there were so many. And more temples were opening. Who was opening these temples? Can anyone answer this question? Who is opening these temples? Prabhupada is not there.
His disciples.
Yeah. So now let us not underestimate his disciples. His movement is barely 6-7 years old at that time. And all his disciples are barely 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, like that in the movement. Many of them have seen Prabhupada once or not even once. But still the movement is expanding. That gave great joy to Srila Prabhupada. That they are not asking for the physical association of the spiritual master to do everything. They are not crowding around him all the time, simply going with him wherever he goes and listening to his every word. No. They are all away from Srila Prabhupada. But at the same time, they are tuned in to Srila Prabhupada. Their antennas are always tuned to Srila Prabhupada. What would Prabhupada want to do? In fact, more than that, what the disciples of Srila Prabhupada say, we were always thinking how to bring a smile on the face of Srila Prabhupada. Right? The success of a soul is to bring a smile on the face of Lord Krishna. But how to bring that smile? If you bring a smile on the face of your spiritual master, who is a completely surrendered devotee of Lord Krishna, then Krishna smiles. So that all the devotees knew. So in the absence of Srila Prabhupada, temples are opening all the time. And they are all inviting Prabhupada, please come to my temple, my temple, my temple. Prabhupada, as much as possible, he is going, stretching himself. But still, he could not visit all the temples. Everyone is eager to see Prabhupada. Many of them are not seen. There is a temple, there is a president, there are all these devotees. They have not seen Prabhupada. Imagine the power of Srila Prabhupada to guide things without his physical presence, with people who have never seen him also. In Sydney, we saw when Srila Prabhupada went to the place, he installed Radha Gopinath deities. None of them had seen Srila Prabhupada before. None of them. And many people took initiation right there from Srila Prabhupada. First and second initiation. So this is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. So, and sometimes Prabhupada would even visit a remote temple, even though Prabhupada would say, now I'm an old man, I may go anytime, I have so many things to do. So I want you disciples to manage things, your GBC secretaries, you have your areas, you take care. But Srila Prabhupada would also go. Then Srila Prabhupada went to London for 2 weeks. And there he met Ravi Shankar. The earlier generation of devotees would know sitar expert Ravi Shankar. I think his daughter was also a famous actress, Ravi Shankar. So that Ravi Shankar and our George Harrison, Beatles George Harrison, They were good friends. They have performed together in many shows and all that. But Ravi Shankar never became a follower of Srila Prabhupada. But George Harrison always wanted to join ISKCON full time. So this time also when Prabhupada went to London, George Harrison said, Swamiji, not Swamiji, this time it is Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, I want to shave my head and join the temple. If you have seen pictures of George Harrison, you can see his long hippie hair. And his mustache and all. But he was telling Srila Prabhupada, I want to shave. He's a famous rock idol for the whole world of youngsters and old people alike at that time in the 60s and 70s. But that same George Harrison, who was worshipped by the young generation at that time, he was telling Srila Prabhupada his desire to shave and join the temple full time. But Srila Prabhupada said, no. You continue as a singer, because if you tell people to chant Hare Krishna, they will do it. So that way you are serving Krishna. Ultimately, what? But does your dress matter? Whether you keep a shika or tilak, are these things important? No. Ultimately, depending on time, place, and circumstances, if you are always focused on serving the spiritual master and Lord Sri Krishna, you are a devotee. You are a perfect devotee. That way, Srila Prabhupada encouraged him, continue to make records which will encourage people to chant Hare Krishna. And George Harrison continued to do that till his departure. So then Prabhupada, while he was abroad, Prabhupada was writing a lot of letters, I already told you. And these letters, which he wrote to all his foreign centers, it was all about book distribution. I just want to share some of the things Prabhupada wrote. So to New York he wrote, I'm especially pleased to hear that your distribution of books and magazines has increased. Go on in this way, increasing more and more. Each time someone reads some solid information about Krishna, his life becomes changed in some way. These literatures are the solid ground upon which our preaching stands. So I want that they should be available to everyone, as many as possible. So please try for this. So this is Prabhupada's instruction for all times. This is written in 1971, but it is applicable today after 54 years as much as it was at that time. Only thing, we may have to use some newer strategies, whether we give it in the form of e-books or as it is physical books, and we give classes, and through classes we distribute books, whatever it is. Strategies, tactics, we have to decide. But Prabhupada's desire, book should go. And if we can help that, Prabhupada becomes very happy. So same way he wrote letters to Australia, he wrote to Africa. Distribution of books and magazines is our most important activity. Without books, our preaching has no solid basis. Especially the Africans want our books. So this is what Prabhupada is writing. And Prabhupada again writes, practically, our society is built on books. Imagine, our society is, the foundation you open, there are all books only. Krishna book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, like that. So many books, that is our foundation. And if you see the pillars, they are all books only. If you see the ceiling, it's all books only. So like that, our temple is built of books only. One book is not very impressive. If you have only one book, people will not be very impressed. But still, a blind uncle is better than no uncle at all. Prabhupada wrote this in a very early stage when there was only one book. A blind uncle is better than no uncle at all. So it is very nice that one book has appeared and that Back to Godhead is appearing at least several issues in many languages. But now try to produce at least 4 or 5 new books per year in several languages, plus regularly BTG every month. Apply yourself fully to this very great responsibility of producing numerous books in foreign languages. Now, producing books is not enough. Producing means distribution. So we all have a role to play in distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. So Satsrup Maharaj writes that around the same time, a big competition was happening in the Western countries about distributing Prabhupada's books. In the early days, distribution was picking up, but very, very slowly. But later on, devotees started going out on Nagar Sankirtan and door to door for distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. Along with Nagar Sankirtan, book distribution. Door to door, tapping the door and trying to give books to people. And that way, huge increase in book distribution happened. There were days in which one devotee alone will distribute 40, 50 Krishna books. One devotee, one day, he would distribute like that. Amazing work was done. So this Sankirtana fever was catching up in America everywhere, and Prabhupada became very happy about it. And Prabhupada also stressed that distribution is not enough. If somebody is asking you what is in the book, you should be able to say that. So Prabhupada said, my devotees should also regularly study the books. The books were not only for public. Devotees must read them and know them, or how they will preach. So Prabhupada said that. Another thing Prabhupada introduced was to chant the Bhagavatam shlokas in the temple. Before Bhagavatam class, the shloka will be chanted by the speaker on the Vyasasan, and everybody will repeat. And then from the audience, someone will chant and others will repeat like that. Many times the shloka will be repeated. And that way people will learn the pronunciation, how to sing it properly to meter, and then they will learn the word-to-word meanings. That way, Prabhupada introduced that system in 1972 in Los Angeles. And the effect was that people immediately became very grave when they started reading these powerful Sanskrit shlokas in the association of Srila Prabhupada. They started experiencing transformation, and they all became very serious in their spiritual life and little more civilized. Hridayananda Swami writes, they became little more civilized. Just at that time, things were a little wild in America. He is saying the Sankirtan party means, book distribution parties. So they were doing many wild things, staying out all hours of the night, sleeping anywhere, eating anything. Previously, the temples were not doing much about book distribution, but these people going out in Sankirtan parties, they were doing amazing work. But after Prabhupada introduced the shloka chanting and repeating and all, temples also increased their book distribution. And those people who were wildly distributing books outside, they started reading the books and they became more polished in their behavior. Like that he writes there. And then we have seen how in Mexico City, Srila Prabhupada did some amazing preaching work. Then Srila Prabhupada went to Paris. In Paris, Prabhupada spoke to thousands of students. And Prabhupada said, you have a history of being revolutionary. Now, all of you who have read world history, you would have read about French Revolution, the most famous French Revolution, storming of the prison of Bastille and all these things, and how from there only the revolution spread to all over the world, including to India. People developed a spirit of revolution like that. The Russian Revolution, everything happened after the French Revolution started. So Prabhupada said, you people are famous for revolution. So now, see how Prabhupada is connecting. You should inquire into this Krishna conscious philosophy, what we are teaching. It's a revolutionary movement to revive Krishna consciousness. You are all revolutionary people. So revolutionize your life by understanding what is Krishna consciousness. Then Srila Prabhupada went to Amsterdam, new temple, installation of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and initiating people and initiating worship there. Then in the same city, Prabhupada addressed the public. Thousands of hippies came. And Prabhupada asked one of his devotees to address this huge group of hippies. And the devotee was speaking for some time. Then suddenly Prabhupada told him, stop talking, stop your lecture. And he said, start Kirtan. And Prabhupada said, these people are useless. Just hold Kirtana. Don't give them philosophy. Later on, Srila Prabhupada wrote in his letter, see this, I am reading out here. We are observing many hippies have become so disgusted with material life, but also so much degraded that they will not hear our philosophy. Just they mock. So please understand. Sometimes we think, people were already frustrated, all these hippies. So Prabhupada went at the right time and they all accepted Krishna consciousness. But it is far from the truth. It was not happening automatically. All these people were so degraded. It was the purity of Srila Prabhupada, his faith in his Guru Maharaj and in the Mahamantra that made things happen. Let us not take these things cheaply. That no, hippies were ready for the philosophy and Prabhupada went at the right time. far from the truth. And here Prabhupada is saying they are so degraded. Not only they have rejected material life of normal people, but they have no spiritual longing. So that means they are sinking into tamogun. Tamogun means a mode of complete ignorance, and they cannot understand philosophy. And what can save them? Prabhupada says, only the holy name. It is better not to preach very much philosophy, but somehow make them chant Hare Krishna. If some people are interested, give them our Krishna book. Only if they chant with us, that will help them. So this is Prabhupada's message. So this is something very amazing. Prabhupada's trust in the holy name. It is not philosophy. People have to have certain amount of purity and sukruti to follow the philosophy. But holy name is completely merciful. Completely merciful. So whether people have the qualification or not, the holy name will work. So this is a message that Srila Prabhupada is giving. Then Prabhupada went to Edinburgh. You know, it is in UK, Britain. So Edinburgh is more in the northern side, Scotland, that side. So Prabhupada visited there in July 1972. Dozens of reporters crowded around him to get his interview. And the people of Edinburgh, they were very proud people. Why? They were very wealthy, very opulent. They lived in huge palatial houses. They had huge gardens and lawns. They had large cars. They had many colleges, universities, and the place was filled with students studying in various universities and all that. So they were saying this to Prabhupada, and they were very puffed up. And Prabhupada, very nicely, he said, yeah, very nice. Oh, I'm really impressed. Very good. Like that. Prabhupada was also responding to them and saying, oh, you have done very well. So nice. Your city is so nice. Your buildings are so nice. And people were very proud when Prabhupada said these things. And Prabhupada asked, so you are having many students studying here? They said, yes, yes. Prabhupada said, oh, you are a very affluent city? They said, yes, yes. And we are very rich and opulent people. So Prabhupada then said, so you have many students, nice buildings, wealth and enjoyment. And they all said, yes, yes, yes. A very relaxed mood, very proudly. They were sitting in front of Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada looked at them straight in the eyes. And Prabhupada said, then why are your universities producing hippies? Very nice, no? Prabhupada has given a nice build-up. They all agreed that our city is the best. We have got everything. Nothing is missing. This is in their own words. Prabhupada has extracted. And Prabhupada did not deny. And now Prabhupada is asking, why are your universities producing hippies? Hippies means frustrated people. Hippie means frustrated people. So Prabhupada's question is straight. Then why are your young people frustrated? That is the question. They looked at one another. There was no answer forthcoming. Prabhupada has really stunned them. Right? Then Prabhupada started explaining and they listened. How all these things cannot bring happiness. This is only stones and large glass windows and bright lights. That's not happiness. Where is the happiness here? Okay. And people understood the message. Next, Prabhupada went to Glasgow. This is also in northern UK. And there he addressed more than 1,000 audience of young and old people in a huge hall. And at the end of this address, the crowd was shouting, more, more, more. We want to hear more. Like that they were shouting in that assembly. And there something happened very interesting. Prabhupada was giving, after Prabhupada completed his class, and he said, anyone has any questions? One man came from behind. He got up and walked towards the center of the stage. He stood in front of Srila Prabhupada and told him, I am this, I am that. He was explaining himself very proudly. And finally he said, I am God. The entire crowd was listening and there was a stunned silence. People were waiting to see how Prabhupada will handle this man. So Prabhupada listened to him. And after he said, I am God, Prabhupada looked at him for some moments and Prabhupada spoke. So you are God. You have nothing more to say? Prabhupada asked. You have nothing more to say? You are not God. You are dog. That's all. You have nothing more to say? Apart from that, you are God. Then I say you are not God, you are a dog. The whole audience exploded into an applause. And everybody was cheering Srila Prabhupada. And this man stood there for some time. And he also started smiling and he walked back. He never uttered one more word. So Prabhupada comprehensively defeated him. And the audience got an important message. What is that message? God is not cheap. God is not cheap. Because today, people actually, particularly in the Western world, this is definitely happening in India also. They think God is cheap. I am God, you are God, everybody is God. Or God is a formless entity. We don't have to worry so much about God. Or they say God is dead. Or God has transformed into this universe. So this universe is God and there is no God separately. So we are all here and it is free for all. And I am God, you are God. This cheap mentality, they understood that God is not cheap. Then they had a kirtan. The whole audience started dancing. And then Prabhupada stood on the stage and danced. And some street urchins from the local slums, they entered into the hall because the door was open. And they all entered. They walked up to the stage and they started dancing along with Prabhupada. Suddenly the devotees noticed and they tried to pull the children off the stage. And Prabhupada stopped them. Prabhupada said, don't do that. These children are all devotees. Let them chant. See the vision of Srila Prabhupada. A pure devotee sees Krishna in everything or Krishna's energy in everything. And more than that, Prabhupada in his transcendental vision, he could see that they are all devotees. If not today, tomorrow. So Prabhupada did not make a distinction between the wealthy people, poor people and all. Then Prabhupada went to London from Glasgow and Sumati Morarji had come to London. So he met her at the airport. He talked to her about the Juhu project. And Srila Prabhupada told her, for Juhu project only, I want to form a board of trustees. And I want you to be the president. And we will put all our life members and patrons in this board. And you will help us in getting various clearances and in building. And you will also provide the finance. You are all wealthy people. You will give finance. And each of you can take a particular part of the project. Like one building you can sponsor or one floor you can sponsor. Like that library wing somebody can sponsor. Sumati Morarji happily agreed to this proposal, agreed to become the president of the trust. In the meantime, Prabhupada is still in anxiety about Mr. N, whether this property he will register or not. So he sent a telegram message to Giriraj Maharaj saying, please get the conveyance done immediately and give me the details. Conveyance means sale deed registration. Get it done immediately. Immediately, Giriraj went to meet Mr. N. And Mr. N now said something new. That 5 lakh business is one side. Now he's saying something else. What he's saying? See, you are a charitable trust. A charitable trust, before buying a property, should get an approval from the Charity Commissioner's office. You all know, some of you may not know, every state has got its Charity Commissioner. And I don't know whether districts have, but every state headquarters, there is a Charity Commissioner. So Maharashtra Charity Commissioner's office is what Mr. N is referring. We have already seen Mr. N is a wealthy, influential, powerful media man, influential person, connections in political circles. So Charity Commissioner is eating out of his hands. He will say whatever he asks him to say. So Mr. N is so confident that I will stop these people. If I cannot do directly, I will use the government machinery to stop them. So now he is using Charity Commissioner. Charity Commissioner says, oh, you have entered an agreement already. No, that is not valid. Because you have not taken my permission. Without my permission, how did you make this agreement? No, you have to do it again. Because 6 months before any property deal, you should get my permission. So, and Mr. N smiling and he's saying, now you get the permission from Charity Commission. You get. So burden is back on his con. So like that, and all the devotees in Juhu, they became broken-hearted. They thought, now we cannot move forward. They are almost ready to surrender. They have reached the stage where they are ready to surrender. Whatever sufferings they have undergone in the Juhu place, the deities are installed, puja, foundation laying, everything has been done. But still, they are willing to leave that place because the situation is hopeless. Only who is holding? Prabhupada. He is not allowing them to leave the place. Otherwise, they will throw everything down and they will leave ready. Okay. In the meantime, Srila Prabhupada went to New Vrindavan. And New Vrindavan is in West Virginia in the United States. And that's the first ISKCON farm community. I don't know whether it is 5,000, 6,000 acres. There are hills and mountains and rivers and lakes and huge farmlands, forests, everything. Beautiful. So Prabhupada went there on August 30, 1972. Janmashtami is going to come another 2 days, and another 3 days, Srila Prabhupada's appearance day is going to come. So 300 disciples had collected there, knowing Prabhupada is going to come. So Prabhupada went there. For 1 week, Prabhupada gave classes on Bhagavata Dharma. I hope you all know what is Bhagavata Dharma. Or would someone like to say something about it? What is Bhagavata Dharma?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the way we should follow as devotees. Simple living, high thinking.
Very good. Very good. The most important thing is we talk about for Vaishnavas, there are two. One is Bhagavata Dharma, another is Pancharatri. Pancharatri Dharma is deity worship, mainly deity worship. That was applicable to the previous Yuga, right? Dwapar Yuga. But for Kali Yuga, it is the 9 processes of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. That is Bhagavata Dharma. Bhagavata Dharma is the process by which we worship God in the association of devotees by following the 9 processes of bhakti. So that is Bhagavata Dharma. There is the book Bhagavata and there is a person Bhagavata. And so Bhagavata means anything connected with Bhagavan becomes Bhagavata. So Bhagavatam is about Krishna and his devotees, the book that describes Krishna and his very exalted devotees. So Bhagavata Dharma means following this process of bhakti using the 9 processes. So that's called Bhagavata Dharma. Pancharatri is strictly like Vaidi kind of thing in a temple-based worship of the Lord in the deity form, using mantras and all that. But in Bhagavata Dharma, it is more intimate. We use Nama, right? There is no need for initiation. Pancharatra means initiation is required. Diksha is required. But in Bhagavata Dharma, it is not required. You can straight away start chanting the holy names. Pancharatra, qualifications are there. In Bhagavata, only qualification is that you have faith in devotees, you have faith in the Shastra, you have faith in God, and you are ready. With all your vices and deficiencies, you can start the Bhagavata Dharma. So for 1 week, Srila Prabhupada spoke about Bhagavata Dharma from there. Meantime, Juhu problem is mounting. And Giriraj Maharaj is losing all hopes. But Prabhupada says, our agreement is, Prabhupada took out the agreement and he read it. And he said, our agreement is strong. Mr. N is only bluffing. We are on strong ground. They can do nothing like that. And Prabhupada's appearance day, thousands of public and disciples were there. New York Times, other TV media, they attended in large numbers and they gave very wide coverage. So these are very amazing, right? For an Indian preacher who is an old man doing everything singly, he gets such wide coverage and respect from a country like the United States of America. So Srila Prabhupada said, the disciples were worshipping Srila Prabhupada like God. They made a huge Vyasasan. They offered Dandavat pranams to him. They carried him on a palanquin. So Prabhupada spoke that just by seeing the way my disciples are respecting me like God, you should not get the wrong impression. No spiritual master says that he is God. Spiritual master doesn't present himself as God. He is the representative of God. And what respect the devotees want to give to Krishna, that they offer to Guru, and Guru, as the representative, he passes it on. He doesn't keep. He passes it on. So Srila Prabhupada said, it is like a tax collector. Example is very beautiful, no? Tax collector does what? He collects a lot of money from people. He collects all taxes. Then what does he do? Put it in his pocket? then he will be in jail. He collects on behalf of the government. So whatever he collects, he has to deposit to the government. And whoever gave the money to the tax collector, they get it recorded in their name. Correct? Whatever money he gave to tax collector, it is acknowledged by the government. Same way, the respect that we give to the spiritual master is acknowledged by Krishna. So this is the system of Vaishnava Dharma. You worship your spiritual master as God. But spiritual master doesn't think he is God. He thinks I am Krishna's representative and doesn't keep even a little bit of that worship or money or reputation, nothing. He passes everything on to through the parampara to Krishna. So Prabhupada explained this. There was a grand feast at the end of this program. And after that, Prabhupada moved to one small wood house. That's all. There were no buildings in New Vrindavan. On the one side, he received so much worship, but finally he lived in a small wood house. And then Prabhupada was carried on a palanquin on top of the hill. On the hill, they kept the pandal, and thousands of people assembled there, and Prabhupada gave class from there. And the evening, they will come back in the down the hill, and they were again carrying Prabhupada on the palanquin. And amazingly, for 2 pages, the description of this site is there in Satsuru Maharaj's book. Now, if I want to share all these things with you, we are already more than 60 sessions strong. It may never end only. But even though I very much want to share these things with you, but because of time factor, I have to skip some of these things. But I will just read at least one. I will just read one. Sureshwar Prabhu, he says, the path from the pavilion, that is Prabhupada's Kirtan party is coming down. The devotees would hold a Kirtan and carry Prabhupada on the long, steep hill on palanquin. And afterward, as they carried him back down, he would be surrounded by chanting disciples bearing lanterns and torches. I got there at dusk. So when he went, it was dusk. That means it is becoming dark. And there is torches everywhere, thousands of disciples, and Prabhupada is on a palanquin above everybody. And it looks like Prabhupada is floating on an ocean of devotees. The ocean of devotees coming down, and Prabhupada is floating on top of them. And Sureshwar was mesmerized by the sight of this. And everybody was carrying torches, electric torches, fire torches, and lanterns they were carrying. And in that, dust was rising in the sky because so many thousands of people walking, and it was dust. And he says, dust was being kicked up everywhere from all the people. Tumultuous kirtana was going on. It looked spectacular, like a panoramic scene from one of the epic movies. Some of you might have seen these movies, 10 Commandments or Exodus. They were made on 70 mm. In those days, 70 mm was a big thing. Or CinemaScope, like that. So he is recollecting that movie in his mind. Oh, it looks like that. And Prabhupada looks much more transcendental than Moses. So like that, he was so impressed. I just fell down. What Sureshwar did, he just fell down in the dust. As Srila Prabhupada's palanquin came gliding past. So Prabhupada is coming down, he is standing, and Prabhupada's palanquin has approached him, and he immediately fell down in the dust and offered Dandavat Pranams. And it was wild and devotional. This is one example. Bhattu Gopal is talking about it. Janava Devidas is talking about it. Everybody is talking about this particular procession. So you can, in your mind, you can try to visualize how amazing it should have been. Okay. So, right. So there was one devotee called Shrutakirti. He was in charge of the kitchen. Now, Shrutakirti and Harishauri, these are 2 people who were very intimate secretaries of Prabhupada for a long time, apart from Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And this Shrutakirti at that time was not secretary. He was in charge of the kitchen services in New Vrindavan. And thousands of people to be fed every day. So he could not get one moment out of the kitchen. He never saw Prabhupada. He never attended the Pandal programs. He only heard from other devotees what is happening, what is happening. It increased his eagerness, but he could not go. He was all the time thinking, oh, Prabhupada came, but I missed his darshan, his lectures, nothing. And suddenly Kirtanananda Swami came to the kitchen. And he said, you will be Srila Prabhupada's secretary for the rest of his American tour. Suddenly Shrutakirti was stunned. How it is, what I was thinking in my heart, how it is suddenly happening. And Kirtananda Swami took him to Srila Prabhupada right away and told Srila Prabhupada, this is the boy who is cooking for you, and now he will accompany you for your yatras. Then Prabhupada said, okay, but does he know how to massage? And Shrutakirti had never massaged, and he said, I don't know. Then Prabhupada said, doesn't matter, it's very easy. You can always learn. So that way, Shrutakirti suddenly became Prabhupada's secretary, and he was going to leave with him. So with this, I think we have to end today's session. It's already 7 hours, 3 minutes. Thank you very much. So devotees, we want to say anything, you can say, you can share your comments and views, and then we will close. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In one of Srila Prabhupada's lectures, I heard Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada is telling that we are selling in 1971, I think so. We are selling books for about 30 to 40 lakhs at that time, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
It was amazing to hear.
Yeah. It's really amazing. Actually, everything was like magical. Everything was like magical. Of course, I will tell you one thing. Satsvarup Maharaj is who is writing this book. He's a great expert in English language, and he knew the way in which books must be written. And this book is like a biography of Srila Prabhupada with historic accounts collected from various places. And he has taken care not to allow emotion to be revealed in the book, right? So many of the things, he has actually abridged it. He has not spoken the whole thing. Whether it was the feedback of people or whether it was certain things that happened around Srila Prabhupada, he has put them in a very, polished way. What do you call? He has removed the emotion out of it, like just writing a prose, right? And even then, we are able to see so much in this book. Even though he's a devotee, he has written it like a biographer with a dispassionate, neutral observer writing. So many things that you won't find in this book, you will find in other books. This particular New Vrindavan scene, what we are seeing here, very limited. But if you see another book written by another devotee who was present in New Vrindavan, you will be able to enjoy much more nectar. That is why so many books of Srila Prabhupada are available today. This is the authorized official biography. This is a biography. But then other people are writing their biographies in the presence of Prabhupada. So they are very, very amazing. Very, very amazing. So try and get some of these books and read them. Yeah. And Mother, you have written Satchidananda Swarup. What did you mean there? You are talking about the souls, no? Atmaram. You must have written for that. Satchidananda Swarup, yeah. Qualitatively, the Supreme Lord and the soul is identical. Qualitatively, Satchidananda. But quantitatively, he is like an unlimited sun, and we are just a spark or a ray of the sun. Yes. And soul's nature is to be happy. Absolutely. Because as Krishna is always happy, soul is also happy. Rohini Mataji, you can ask your question, but I am sorry. Again, my charge is going down. Please ask. Let us see whether we can take it.
Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Gita, I read about Nitya Siddha and Nitya Baddha. Today you used one more word, no?
Sadhana Siddha.
Nitya Siddha and Kripa Siddha. What is Kripa Siddha? Is it the same as Nitya Baddha? I've heard this name.
I did not use the word Kripa Siddha. Kripa Siddhas are very, very rare. Kripa Siddha means...
Sorry, Prabhuji. Sadhana Siddha.
Yeah, Sadhana Siddhas means you and I, someday we will become perfect and we will enter into the spiritual world. Then we are Sadhana Siddhas. There are Nitya Siddhas who never fell into the material world. They are forever in the internal energy of the Lord. But we have come out, but someday we will go back. Then we are Sadhana Siddhas. But for your information, in the spiritual world, there is no distinction between sadhana siddha, nitya siddha. Nobody makes a distinction. Oh, you are a sadhana siddha. It's not like that. All are siddha, perfected persons in the spiritual world. But nitya siddha people are very special because they have already taken those positions, in the spiritual world. Say, for example, the mother of Krishna, father of Krishna, brothers of Krishna. These are all positions taken by nitya siddhas. So when the sadhana siddha goes, they will connect to one of these nitya siddhas. Like there are manjaris, for example, right? Lalita Shaki, Vishaka Shaki, the manjaris, they're all there. You will just become part of any of these teams, depending on in which rasa you are worshipping the Lord. Either it is Madhurya rasa or Sakya rasa or Vatsalya rasa. You will become one of a large group of devotees who are all serving Krishna. But again, remember, doesn't mean that you'll be in a very remote place. Oh, I have joined just now. So many people have already joined. So I can never see Krishna, or I can only see Krishna from far away. No. This kind of scarcity doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Krishna will expand himself as much as needed to satisfy all the devotees in the spiritual world. So nobody feels I am getting less, I should get more. No. That's a place of perfection. That means everybody is perfectly happy. So is it clear, Mataji?
So basically Nitya Baddha and Sadhana Siddha means the same but like they're conditioned only, but Sadhana Siddhas are practicing. They started their practice.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you,
Nitya
Prabhuji.
Baddhas will someday become sadhana siddhas by following the path of sadhana. Someday they will become sadhana siddhas. Otherwise, karma is supposed to be eternal. As long as we don't take the path of bhakti, karma is eternal. That means we'll keep coming and going forever. That's why Nitya Baddha. But once you take the shelter of the Lord, shelter of devotees, you are no longer a Nitya Baddha. You are on your way to becoming free from the Baddha. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta